had a very pleasant day here. It was so cool to go up and see the cliff dwellings. It's like my favorite part so far. It's just hard to believe that people lived there, and gosh, it had to be a rough, tough life. But it is beautiful here, and the Gila River really makes everything green, as you can see. The hot springs were nice and relaxing, and I am going to hit the trail tomorrow, back on trail tomorrow. Going to be taking the high route because of the you're the goats, because of the water level still. And it will be like 5.5 days to the next town. So I'm going to be carrying a lot of food. Not looking forward to that, but it is what it is. Well, good night all, and happy trails. Good morning. I've got about a 6:30 start this morning. Feeling good and rested after a day at the hot springs and the cliff dwellings. I would like to take a minute and acknowledge the fact that the land I've been walking through and will continue to walk through in New Mexico is the ancestral land of the Apache Nation. I just really appreciate their stewardship and vision and leadership of this land through all these generations. I am on the high route today, and I'm going to try to do about 22 miles, just under 22 miles. There's supposed to be a nice river, some nice campsites there, and that's where I'm headed. day turned out amazing. In the beginning, there were just these incredible views and vistas. And then all these meadows, like I didn't know that's what New Mexico looked like. There were just these beautiful meadows and tall pine trees. It was so gorgeous. I ended up doing 23.1 miles. I didn't want to do that many, but where I was going to stop was really windy. So I thought I'd go a little further to see if I could find something more sheltered. And the more I walked, there were like tons of blowdowns, and that didn't seem very safe. So I finally found a spot, and I am all set up. It's still windy here, but I don't have to worry about a tree falling on me, which is nice. One of the things that I'm kind of running into is I'm making a lot better time than I thought I would. And so I was going to do like 340 miles, and I was hoping to get in 400. I'm going to be able to get 400 in easy. But I still want to try to keep my miles down to like 20, because if I keep doing like this, I'm going to take a zero in near Pie Town, because I can. That wasn't on the original schedule. But I just don't want to finish early and then just sit in a hotel room waiting for my flight. So I think if I can just do about 20 a day, that would be a really good pace. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully the campsites cooperate with that. Well, that's all for tonight, and happy trails. Well, it's 6:15, and I'm still laying in my tent, and you might wonder why, because it rained last night off and on a lot, and I got up a little bit ago to go to the bathroom. I thought, gosh, it's really cold, and I looked at my tent, and it had ice on it. So I'm just gonna slowly get ready. Because it did rain, my tent is wet, and there was a low spot just on the side of my head where water pooled up, so it got wet underneath my sleeping pad, and part of my sleeping bag got wet. So as soon as the sun comes out and things start drying out, I'm going to stop and spread my gear out and get it dry, so I have warm gear for tonight. Warm and dry gear for tonight. I'm sure I'll get up going soon. I keep hearing a turkey gobble over that way this morning. It's kind of cool. I thought I'd give you a quick update on my thumb. It's been a little over a week since the accident, and the blister popped on its own in Silver City, but I didn't mess with it. I've just kept it clean, and I'm glad, because that skin that's on the outer layer that had formed the blister is pretty tough, and it's helped protect the tender skin that's underneath. And it still hurts if I put any pressure on it. So like when I'm tying my shoes, or trying to put on clothes, or trying to zip up a zipper, any of that stuff, I can feel it. You just use your thumb on your dominant hand a lot. But it looks like it's well on its way to recovery. Well, I made it across. I didn't like it one single bit, because I only had one trekking pole, and it's so much easier with two trekking poles. So I was a little nervous. I take that back. I was a lot nervous. It was just up to my crotch at that deep point, and that's where it was the fastest. But luckily there were some rocks there that I could wedge my feet in to get across. And now that's done with. right after I crossed the Gila River, like 100 yards later, there were some guys camping, and one of them had just broken camp and was leaving. And he said when they crossed last night that it was only knee deep. I guess all the rain made it deeper. And he's like, did you cross that this morning? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what a wake-up call. And then he asked me what my name was, and I said, Braveheart. He chuckled and said, of course. Oh, this morning, as I was getting ready, just as I left, there was a tree that was down, and it was in some tall grass. And I found out that it had a branch sticking out from it, and I caught my leg on it. And I had my base layer on at the time, but as I was hiking down to the river, I thought that it felt like it was bruising, so I thought I was going to have a bruise. Well, when I got down the river and I took my base layer off, it's going to be a little more than a bruise. I'll show you a picture of it. Beautiful day today, just all those big huge meadows. It was just gorgeous. And I ended up doing 22.6 miles. I am already really cold, and it's going to be a cold night, I can tell. So I'm going to snuggle in and see if I can stay warm. Happy trails. Good night.